Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome tonight to the L'Oreal Men Expert Invitational. Of course, joined with me this evening is my lovely friend Matsy. How are you today, Matsy? And of course, speaking of games, we look over towards the groups and who has been invited to this lovely invitational. And of course, it is EXO, Legacy, Mindfreak, and RipNTear from Group A. And then for Group B, we've got Order, the newly found roster that has just come together. Tick, AVANT, and Kanga. Of course, some very veteran names in some of these groups. And some of these players, of course, it's going to be very interesting to see, Matt. They're playing for a hefty summer prize pool here. Of course, first place gets $6,000 and 5 lovely Intel Gaming PCs. Shout out, of course, to Intel A and Z, the lovely partner here for the VALORANT Men Expert Invitational, of course. And a shout out to the Chiefs, bringing it all for you. Of course, second place, it's $3,000, and for third, a lovely grand. And Matt, I'm not sure about you, but I saw a brief summary of the PC that they had on offer, of course, to the MVP of the entire thing, and my god, that thing is beautiful. And whether that be, of course, First Strike or something else in the future, of course, there's tons of lovely tournaments being brought to the AU scene. It's good to see so much lovely action, of course, and we will be covering for this game this evening. There's 3 games, of course. We look over at the schedule for us here on the lovely community streams. Of course, we've got Order first versus Kanga, of course, brought to you 6 p.m, the first game of this evening, and then later we'll have AVANT versus Kanga, and then to close it out, a bit of a clash of titans, I feel, and teams that haven't quite proven themselves. We've got Legacy and RipNTear to close out this evening, and Matt, it's jam-packed this evening. Hmm. Indeed, and it will be all up to how these teams show well, because of course these are the opening best of ones. The cards are all on the table this evening, and well, it's gonna be interesting how this first game goes. Of course, Order versus Kanga. Kanga, a very, very premiered roster, of course, formerly the Over Power Strike roster, with different players from different scenes, of course, Paladins, Overwatch, and Counter-Strike incorporated in the name. And then, as you said, for Order, of course, the X-Launch roster invited to, of course, the First Strike group stage. And, of course, picking up some new players from the old GZ roster. Of course, Autumn, and I believe it is Disco coming in to fill the likes of Ferg and Wizard who have departed. It's definitely interesting to see all these teams cut and changing rosters, of course, making sure everything is good and well. I'm just getting an audio issue. Give me a second, really quick, while we fix that, hopefully you'll be able to hear Matsy, because apparently we've been... apparently we're not able to hear him. Give me a second. Unmute. It should be good, of course. Hopefully that's fixed it. I believe it has. I'm not quite sure, though. And it should be interesting, of course. As you said, these newly formed rosters swapping around things from, of course, the first Ignition series brought to you by Order. And then, of course, we saw a lot of teams really grow as a unit, of course, during the rise of Valor. We saw, of course, the rise of the former roster, of course, EXO, I believe Bumble Boys from first birth to now a world-class roster and really threatening international competition in the likes of EXO. And, well, it'll be all up to how these teams show good. Of course, opening best of ones, very prone to upsets, very prone to some sort of error in lack of communication. And, of course, we're just waiting. There's a lot of technical issues. Apologies again. It's not easy running a stream. It's not easy doing anything. Of course, this high production quality, of course, so you have to bear with us. I'm trying to sort everything out. I'm even getting yelled at the players. I can hear you fine. I don't know what's going on here. Give me a second. Let me just play with the audio here. Give me a second. It's they're all over the place. Hold up. Ads. I've got it. Give me a second.
You've got it?
I think we've got it. I've just added a second capture here. Okay. Should be good. We should be able to hear you now. I'm gonna tell
you better hope so.
Okay, guys. Hopefully we can hear him. Hopefully, and apologies again for all the audio issues and such. Of course, 90 seconds delay, so I'm getting messages right now, Matsy. It's very very rough in my DMs.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine. Hopefully I'll live, but hopefully you guys can hear him now. Give me a yes, give me a no, if you can.
Give me a maybe.
Give me a maybe. Hopefully we can hear him. Even got the players in the party yelling at me, but hopefully we're good. Of course, we're talking about the game because, of course, opening best of one, Order versus Kanga. We spoke briefly, of course, Order bringing over the likes of Autumn and Disco from GZ. Of course, still remaining with the core of Tux, Texter, and Dick Stacy, former CS pros, former highly regarded and highly respected individuals in the scene, Matsy.
Yeah, it's really great to see like the veterancy of the players here. Oh, I do have a message from one of the players.
Yeah, move over,
Mr. Stacy. Oh, that's a good one. It's great to see players of many different backgrounds all being collated together into Valorant. Like, we've got the Kanga squad, who predominantly have a pretty strong background in Paladins. Like, you have players like Oz Rhino, like Chronix, who played in the Paladins Professional League overseas. And then, obviously, mixing a few other players into the mix as well. So it's great that they, like, have continued their competitive journey in esports, even despite maybe not finding as much success as they would have hoped for in Paladins. They still continue to press on here in Valorant.
And I've just, of course, received confirmation that we can now hear you, Matsy. And of course, apologies, guys, to all the tech issues. Of course, I didn't appear to have set it up properly. But of course, yes, as you said, Kanga, former Paladins players, of course, Chronix and OzRhino, very, very familiar with each other. Got that synergy, of course. And they've been playing over in the LPL ladder for Evo. Of course, looking to run amok here tonight. And again, I want to say another point as well. KL, of course, now Autumn. I believe he couldn't quite get his name changed in time here for the Invitational. So we will be referring to KL as Autumn. But yes, we're going into the game now live into this first best of one. And Matt, who do you feel will be taking it this evening?
Oh, Tony, it's definitely going to be a close one. I feel like Order could maybe take the cake here, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen, Tony. It looks like I personally am facing some technical difficulties, Tony.
It's an observer thing. Trust me, I've had it happen so many times. Of course, I wonder when
white screen.
The big white screen. Don't worry, we'll be live into the pistol round very soon. But of course, we get a bit more time to speak on these rosters. Of course, we look at the predicted agent selections. I believe in my notes I had Texter pick for a Phoenix, Tux and I believe Dick normally go for the Raze Breach or the Jet Breach even. Dick's been playing Breach quite a bit, and of course it's very strong in the meta at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen a lot of Breach play coming in lately. Like, it's interesting now that Sky has started to come into the mix, Tony. Like, the really dominant flash compositions that come out from players. Like, I believe we've seen talked about pretty commonly how there can be a comp of like Reyna, the Sky, the Breach, Omen, and the Phoenix. Like, there's a lot of potential there.
And, well, we now do have it. The in-game will be swapped over, and hopefully I've got the correct order. I have. Look at that. Order on the left, Kanga on the right. And I believe they've swapped over, of course, the spectator, so now we don't have to swap names here in HUDs and such. But, of course, it is your opening best of one here for the group stage. Order versus Kanga, and it's going to be Haven. Matt, Order, a very, very strong team. At least the old roster was on, of course, this lovely map. And it's going to be interesting to see how Kanga can pull it off against them.
Like, the side don't realize that there's a trap being set on them. The walls are closing in, and if they take too long, then they're going to be crushed.
And, well, for the side of Order, sitting very, very close, it's Disco with his Ghost in hand and looking to fight a few players as they come out. Swinging, the dash comes out. It's Psycho to be found first. Disco gets a second onto OzRhino, and Texter immediately trading it out. It's now just left to Mist. He's found himself some Constellation frags. Him and Composed now need to stay posed here against the last three members of this Order side.
Yeah, 2 versus 3 situation. Still possible, but they're going to have to put their best effort in here, Tony. See, obviously, the two Kanga players slowly treading their way through middle at the moment, over towards the garage. They've got one player to deal with in Autumn there. So if they can get through Autumn, manage to slip past somehow, then this is definitely possible.
Oh, brilliant cage, though. Gets spammed out. Autumn, though, jump over the top. The right click, actually, going to be landing onto Composed. Does some good damage. Now, Autumn has to fend off these few players. Of course, he's backed up by his teammates. It's Tux and Dick to find those kills. And a clean-cut retake here for the pistol of all things. Again, we have to give a brief mention, of course. The new character Sky will be not implemented throughout the tournament, of course, per the rules. And, of course, Icebox as well won't be available throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah, I feel like considering those are very new elements, they need to really null out the kinks before they start to bring that into the competitive pool, make sure that obviously everything is going to be as stable as possible. But we still have a game ahead of us here, Tony. Round number 1 going the way of Order. Kanga now left to try and find some redemption. Best they can hope for, I'd say, try and get a frag or two, maybe steal some cash from their opponents. But how do you think this round's going to shape up here?
It's going to be up to how close Kanga can get. Of course, they have 2 frenzies in their hands. Of course, Composed and Psycho rocking those 2 pistols. And, well, Tux, going for a bit of an early peek, has to fall back to the front of sight. And he's, of course, backed up by Texter. Flash comes out and, well, I don't know if you remember, Matt, but, of course, Tux, very, very known to get aggressive with his jet. And I will be interested to see, as the half progresses, how far he decides to push up.
Yeah, if the round goes on for too long, then you certainly could see Tux push all the way behind the enemy team. Luckily for Kanga, they're opting for the death ball composition. I feel like that's going to promote them well. They should be able to charge right through the gates up A long here, straight onto the site. Obviously, they've got the breach dealing with them close by there, but as we say that, Tony, here we go.
It's a good paranoia to return here. Disco, though, lines up 2 with the help of Texstar. It's all gone in the blink of an eye. Kanga getting mopped on the A hit, and that is what you like to see. Disco, the new member coming in from Order, and he is showing up massive already. And Texter, of course, to back him. A good flash, a good paranoia. Just brilliant team play coming out of Order right now.
Yeah, I'm really impressed at how they're managing to communicate effectively. Like, they position themselves so well. They have the players posted up, ready for the information, and then as soon as it's gained, they're able to relay that very, very swiftly. And you see the adaptation just come through so magnificently. But we'll see if that will be the case coming into the gun rounds here. Oh, nice trade from Chronix there.
Good one to find at that. Chronix reading Tux's aggression, and unfortunate that will be Ozrhino dropping early, but Chronix tossing out that Vandal. Of course, this is the bonus round for Order. They do only have the Pistols and Spectres to the likes of Kangas, Phantoms, and Vandals. They could be looking to hit this C side. Of course, Order very close. A double dink also onto Psycho. And, well, 3 left here, and it's a fallback from Dick. He needs to run for the hills and wait for his compadres to come on in, as Kanga are going to get that spike down, and quite limping low here. Psycho needs to get into a better position.
Yeah, Psycho going to be caught out there by the breach ability. Luckily, we do at least have the paranoia to come through as well. Looks like now Order starting to charge their way onto the site, making use of all their abilities, just trying to clear out every single angle. And just like that, they've taken down 2. Chronix is able to get the refrag on 1, but will he be able to get the rest here? Oh, he picks up 1 there, Tony. Things looking pretty good so far. He's still got 1 more to go, though. Texter trying to play it out, to play in the long game. Chronix not biting, though. Texter, he's been taken out. Chronix gets it done. Death from afar. He leaves a nasty scar.
A phenomenal position there from Chronix, going absolutely massive where they needed him most. And, well, that's a round now to put Kanga on the board, 1-2. And, of course, not really too much to scratch at if you're Order. Of course, only Spectres in that round, but still, that's got to build the momentum now for Kanga. That's got to get them pumped and, well, back into this game, of course, after a rough start.
Certainly will boost the confidence there, but they still have a few more rounds to get if they want to maintain that, because yes, you can get 1 round, but you need to make sure that you keep yourselves composed. Don't let the 1 round get to your head, otherwise your opponents are going to use that against you.
I feel Valorant more a game of mentality than round totals, of course, early on, and one feels that more than Kanga. It's showing a lot of mid presence here, of course, composed towards lower, and you've got Rhino up in window. Dart comes out, and it's good. It spots 2 here. Very well used dart by Dick up in Garage window, the flash comes and he's blind to the world, can't see a damn thing. Pose gets himself to garage. Tosses the smoke out. Oh, Dick eyes with a shock dart. It's a very interesting late hit, but it's over towards A. Everyone from Kanga rotated and Order have got no idea what's about to hit them.
Yeah, it's really great how Kanga have started to establish their forces towards this A site. I feel like the really slowed or delayed push might actually come back to bite them, because as you see, the breach ultimate is going to come through there, and kills just seem to follow. Order absolutely making quick work of the Kanga players right now. It is all down to Psycho though. 10 seconds remain, and Tux has actually been feeling the pain. 1 versus 1 now, Tony. This is certainly achievable. Oh, he spots the shot. He's going to slip away with the dash though. Oh, this is so close, Tony. He goes for it again. He's really trying his best to play the delayed game here. Oh, I don't... Oh,
no way.
Pixel perfect. Oh my gosh.
Autumn with the nerves of steel here in the opening game. And, as you said, Psycho even used the updraft there to fake it out. But Autumn reads the play. He knows the angle, knows the lineup, holds it down, and puts Order back on the board 3-1, but Kanga are feeling hot right now. I can definitely sense that that round has reinvigorated the map.
Yeah, that's a bit like a Sensu beam coming through on the side of Order there. Definitely going to see their strength coming back to them. They may be like Super Saiyans, Tony. If you knock them down, they come back twice as strong.
And it's an early kill already being found. Aggressive play pays off for Texter. He's down to 5. But again, Ozrhino just not seeming to find any luck. Tux as well, getting aggressive through main. And Order really starting to flex their muscle here against the side of Kanga. And well, what can they do to answer it, Matt? It's very limited, of course. Util pistols only. It's a good spray, but a good trade. I missed. 2 left here. Psycho. Knives out. Will be walking up to B. Camera, of course, the cage as well. Autumn being a phenomenal hold here. Just missed left against the 4 of Order.
Yeah, not really much you can do there. Like, the best case scenario is that they rush towards the site, get the spike down, then they're able to play off the money that they can bring into the next round. But unfortunately for them, the side of Order were able to knock them down 1 by 1, and then the fun was over. But luckily for the side of Kanga, they did have enough economy available to push themselves into this next round, get the 4 buy out, and let's see if they can find that form of glory that we saw earlier in the match.
And of course, we take a quick look at the scoreboard. It's 8-3 for Texter and 6-3 for Disco in his opening official here for Order. It's a lot of peaks going on, but it's a lot of trades as well, as Composed and Psycho finding some early kills of their own. And that's 2 dead towards Garage, and that's called the rotate immediately from the entirety of Order over to C. But Kanga haven't quite got themselves in yet, and they're going to have to deal with Dick here. Towards the back of the site, he gets the first, he swings onto the second towards Long, and Composed gets aggressive towards the forward side of site. It's now left to Disco. A 1v3, a few players low, but very limited util to work with here.
Yeah, Disco doesn't have many options available. Like, yes, you can push out the dark cover, but that might only take away one potential angle. And as you see, a cheeky peek there from Chronix to put the final nail in the player. And just like that, Kanga take 1 round back. But let's see if they can take another here, Tony, because Order surely still can buy.
Indeed, they just have the money to buy, I believe Tux, the only one going to be rocking a shotgun, but he's got the knives, of course, in play to work with. A lot of ultimates here for actually both of these teams. The only ults that aren't really in the play, of course, Texter and Autumn, very, very close to having them, but a lot of util here for the side of Kanga, and they could start potentially bringing it back after a rough beginning.
Yeah, it is being able to overcome challenges that really shows just how well you can shape up throughout the series, Tony. And they've managed to overcome the challenge before them in that last round. There is a further one ahead of them, though. Obviously, Order's economy a little bit destabilized. Most of their players able to buy up the respective Vandals and Phantoms, but others suffering on the Bucky there, as well as the Bulldog. Kanga opting to go for the same pattern here again, though. You notice, Tony, how they always eventually stack up towards one another. They never really like to divide and conquer. This could actually prove fruitful for Order, because if you spot one player, then the conquer line's surely behind them.
Of course, power and numbers here. Kanga now try and hit the C site yet again. The off your feet, the rolling thunder being deployed here. Psycho can't find a kill. The Hunter's Fury being deployed by Dick, not going to land onto anyone. The peak comes out. It's Oz Rhino with his first now. The rest of them come from CT. Oz Rhino's holding the line. A good molly comes out. Shock dart in return, but a very comfortable position now here for Kanga.
Yeah, really great how they've managed to plant their way onto the site, and the after plant positions are so great as well. You see Chronix playing towards the outside and long there, just playing the distance game. He managed to find success from that position in the previous round that Kanga was able to win. But obviously on the side of Order, they've opted against that. They're going to be forced to just latibulate in this round and just make sure that they can save their economy.
To have to go back to the drawing board, maybe. Order unfortunately losing out that C hit, and of Kanga, a very impressive fake to A, rotate to C, and just really going with the aggression there. We saw a big 2 from Oz Rhino, of course, having a bit of a rough start to this game. Was 06, but now starting to show a bit of a life in him, and definitely wanting to prove that there are no pushovers here against Order to start it off.
Certainly putting in the work to show that they are a force to be reckoned with there, Tony. And it really goes to show just how much they've grown as a team. Because obviously, they were a little bit shaky in the early stages of the roster, but as time's gone on, they've really started to establish themselves, show everyone that they are a force to be reckoned with, and they're here to play tonight.
Of course, we say the word inconsistent when I think of this Kanga roster. Of course, they have such talented players, just can't quite, fortunately, put the wins on the board. I believe currently 5th over in the LPL Evolution ladder, and I believe just missing out on playoffs. It's very unfortunate to see. Of course, a team as well respected as side of Kanga, of course, Oz Rhino, Chronix, players that have been playing together for so long, just really trying to crack it at that top level against a team like Order. And well, they're looking to crack it at this A site. Flash already from Texter, and a kill already opened up. It's Disco through that smoke. Oh,
lots of kills certainly happening around the map there, Tony, and just like that, it's going to be a flawless victory coming through for Order. They just absolutely tear apart the offense on Kanga's side. It all just went a bit higgledy-piggledy there.
It appears it just didn't quite go together there. Of course, Autumn, beautiful 2, holding down from CT door, and well, nothing really side of Kanga could answer with, and well, it's going to be a bit of a rough buy. Psycho, of course, Vandal Light Armor, Bulldog for Mist. And I want to see a bit more from Kanga going into this later stage of the half.
Pressure does start to build as we move towards the later stages here. Nice early pickup there from Autumn, playing that cubby position very well. Just going to need to hold it out a little bit further though.
Very early ultimate there, but that's going to give them garage control. Composed, not sure what to do with it. Of course, he's snuck out the drone. He will be caught in the smoke here. Texter very close. Will be finding Composed, reads it. And the situation will go in the favor of Order. It's now left to Mist and Oz Rhino as Chronix is getting dropped towards the back of a lobby next to T-Spawn of all places. The spike now needs to be retrieved by Kanga, but a very rough scenario, of course, starting off in this round as well.
You see, they're just picking them apart, Tony. Like, that's how you manage to get the victory towards Kanga. You start to chip away at them, take them apart one by one, and then that stacked up team mentality that they have, it can't work. Because you've seen, they love to play around each other. They're always in that death ball composition, and then when you take that away from them, it's on them to try and adapt, and they're struggling right now.
And, of course, I believe, as you said, Autumn, formerly of the Cracked roster, and he is showing up huge tonight here. Of course, Disco as well. We look at the scoreboard, and that's the storyline here. Disco, 8-4, Autumn, 7-2, and just really all over the map here for Order, and well, Kanga struggling to respond to all of this aggression that Order are putting out right now.
Let's see how they plan out this next round here, Tony. Obviously looking to go for some split middle control currently. Trying to see if they can find somebody. Compo's going to lead the charge. Does spot one player. Actually manages to land the shot there. A great flash coming through from Breach to help their teammate. But now they've actually lost 2 players in the process. Their attacks backfired on them, Tony. The counter-attack proving to be a little bit stronger.
I'm liking this really early rotating team-style mentality coming out. Those Psychos on the flank doesn't actually get the right clicks off. Dick's going to find another. Dick with a second. In Order, just like that, it's not gonna happen. Mid can't even be taken by Kanga, and again, they found the opening pick on a Tux on top of the box, but couldn't quite convert that into more. Just Order have their number right now.
Yeah, they might need to change phone companies, Tony, otherwise this could certainly go in a negative direction for the side of Kanga, but obviously they aren't down and out of this one yet. It's only the first half. Yes, Order do have the round advantage here, but there still is further opportunities for Kanga to bite back.
This next one, kicking and screaming. Of course, last round of the half, Compose did get some nice control in the garage there, but fortunately not able to find anything, and Tux, aggressive towards long, pays off, and that's Onyx dropped, and now, again, Kanga tried for this mid play, and this could be doable this time around. No one really to answer except for Texter. Of course, the left side baits out the shot, as the flash, the rolling thunder to delay the hit to come in, and of course now the rotates coming out from everyone from Order.
Yeah, they're aware of the information, and just like that, Texter's able to take out the first, being a sentinel over this site right now. The Warden, there's Autumn joining in as well, singling out these Kanga players. They're doing it again, Tony. Os Rhino's put a stop to it, at least for a moment, but it's not enough. Texter comes rolling in and manages to put the final pin in the round.
And slowly but surely, Order lowering the likes of Kanga into their grave for this opening best of 1, and well, what a dominant start and a dominant showing. Of course, their first game under the Order banner, and of course a first official for all 5 of these players in quite a bit of time. Of course, the old launch roster, now Order, haven't played an official in at least the past 2 months, Matt.
Yeah, it certainly could tear away at some teams, obviously building a little bit of rust, having some time off, but I feel like in the background, Tony, they've been preparing. You can see that clear as day. Obviously, there's been some scrims happening in the background, and they've managed to really collate all the experience of all the players on the roster together here.
See Oz Rhino going in for the entry there, but well, there's still a player up in the tower. It's good old Disco on the Omen, and of course Kanga will get the spike down quick like that, and of course now set up for these post-plant positions. Order now coming in to reap what they sow. Everybody from Kanga here towards lower. Tux has found the first here. Dick gone peeking for a few more. Autumn is going to be checking that smoke. There's no one there. Disco spots the swing. The Rolling Thunder comes out and the peak is coming in, but nobody's finding kills here from Kanga. It's left to Rhino towards Long, and he will be taken out. It's a 3K from Disco to close it in order. Oh my god, even clean on the retakes as well.
That was really impressive by Order there. Like, they faked the spike defusal noise, right? They just ticked it over for that 1 second, then they repositioned themselves. And Kanga just fell hook, line, and sinker there. You see the Rolling Thunder come through, and then Mist was just staring straight towards that spike, just ready for someone to be on it, but the players were obviously on opposite sides of it, just ready to pounce on Kanga's position, and it all just came paying dividends from there.
Well, now, I'll tell a lie, it's now the half swap. Order are going to be attacking here, and Kanga look to defend. Of course, a very interesting comp, being they have the Phoenix, they have the Jet, they have the Omen. Very, very limited amount of incel to gain here. Of course, only the Cypher from Chronix is going to be their saving grace.
Chronix just going to be jiggling out information towards A-Long at the moment. Doesn't have his sights set on anyone just yet, but as you see, Order taking a pretty slow and steady approach themselves. Like, we got Dick Stacy just trying to bait out the intel towards the window there. Tux waiting patiently towards Long as well. I feel like they can definitely send it either through the garage towards C, or perhaps they just run it straight towards B, Tony. But obviously they've got some obstacles they need to overcome.
I've laid some nice bullets in a Psycho though, of course, just on the other end of Long. Composed, finding the first kill though, catching Autumn and making all the noise be heard in the tripwire. Rhino getting very, very aggressive, will pay for it. It's Texter finding that kill, and now the walk up on the B, but Composed has something to answer for it. And back at the side, it's Dick Stacy finding a few kills, and now here's the Jet lying in wait around him. That is Psycho. Very low HP bar, and well, he's now got Tux to back him. They play it together. 20 seconds on the clock. The spike in the hands of Dick, and he's gone peeking onto Chronix, looking for the third as well. Psycho caught out in the open, and double digits for the side of Order. Just playing together. You saw Dick just patiently wait out there for Tux to back him up, and beautifully played round there to start it off on the pistol.
That's definitely what you want to be happening if you're on the Order side, Tony. Taking that pistol will give them a bit more flexibility to try and push towards the goal. Obviously, being on double digits, it's certainly going to add a lot of pressure on Kanga's shoulders also here. It looks like they haven't opted for the force buy, and honestly, if they allow Order to get more and more rounds, then that could really come back to hinder them.
Good spot there on the camera from Chronix. Will be going Texter, Dick. I sent the drone through, not able to spot anyone himself, but I believe he's playing the lurk here. The rest of them are walking their way up through C Long, and of course, it's going to be Psycho, the only man here to hold it off. Of course, he's got Chronix with him in garage, but this is going to be all out Order, walking straight on in. It's Autumn and Tux to deliver the first 2 kills already, and clean sweep they go. Dick's even finding kills over on the other side of the map.
Order's just so well calculated coming into this round, Tony. Like, they have all the positions on lockdown. They know how they want to approach the site. They know how they can keep their flanks covered. And then just like that, they're able to slice through the round.
Flawless round you see now, 11-3, and well, some would have expected a very nice scoreline, of course, from Order, but as we said, we haven't seen them in 2 months. It was all up in the air coming into this, and it's good to see them show off their prowess here in this opening best of 1. Of course, we'll have 2 games later on this evening. It will be Kanga, AVANT, and then Legacy, RipNTear, and well, Matt, it's already proving to be a good night, and both these teams really showing what this scene's about.
Oh, Tony, it's always a good night when you're here, my friend, and it's going to be a great night with the gameplay that these teams are showing to us right now. Looks like the side of Order, though, playing very closely to that smoke. They've actually gained so much ground already. Just look at them. They are just charging, guns blazing. Missed, though. At least picks up one. Order able to get the trade, and just like that, Texter bites back as well. Everything working out for Order right now. You thought they had a chance, Tony, but now they're all just left. Oz Rhino, 1-on-3.
I had such faith in Compose there for a second. He had such a beautiful position in Garage. Unfortunately, can't quite find the lineup he's looking for. And as you said, it's left to Oz Rhino. He does still have 2 flashes and the wall to work with. For the side of Order, they've faked him out. They've rotated all the way over to A, playing it smart, safe. And they've even got the Cypher very far pushed.
Really great that they were able to phase out Oz Rhino there as well. Like, they had so much presence towards C, and Oz Rhino initially headed his way over towards that site, but now it's up to him. Try and take the fight here against these 3 Order players, and honestly, I don't know if it's worth it at this point. Like, you see the economy on the side of Kanga right now. He really needs to try and maintain this weapon, and on Order, they can afford to go hunting. And it looks like they're going to do just that. I'm so keen, Tony.
And he will find it. Jiggles out the shots, baits it perfectly. And now, that's match point for at least 9 rounds for the side of Order. Kanga, if any time to pull off a miracle, it's these next few rounds. As, Matt, I believe a comeback's in order. We could see it.
Oh, anything is possible, Tony. That is for certain. Let's see if Kanga can bring out the big guns right now. Obviously forcing everything they have into this round. They got the Bulldogs, they got the Phantom, a couple of Spectres there as well. But here comes the Rolling Thunder, Tony. Composed, already disorientated, trying to help their teammate best they can, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough.
And, it's just so brutal to watch. Kanga getting masterclass there. It was almost a good position there from Psycho. He didn't get caught out by Tux, but he's going on a rampage. It's Oz Rhino left as he will fall to Order with a dominant first game here on Haven. 13-3, Matt.
That is one way to showcase yourself as a roster, Tony, and they did it absolutely beautifully. Very well played by the Order side there, showing that even if they are a newly formed roster, they certainly can have what it takes to go far.
And, of course, we look at the scoreboard really quick here. Texter with 21, Tux with 13, 14 from Autumn, 13 from Disco, just all around the board, a phenomenal show. The flashes from Texter, absolutely flawless for this opening map here of the MEX Invitational.
Certainly a great way to start things off for the night, Tony, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen next, because obviously we do have a bit more Kanga available to us tonight, and sure, they might have started off slow here, but that might not necessarily be the case coming into the next match.
And as you said, yes, of course, they've got more games than just that one. It's going to be AVANT Gaming to take on Kanga in a moment's notice. But guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. I want to give a quick shout out again to the sponsors of the Men Expert Invitational. Of course, it's L'Oreal, Men Expert, Intel, and of course Chiefs, bringing you all the adminning, all the presenting, all the partnerships going on here tonight. But guys, don't go nowhere. We'll be back very soon with our next game. It's going to be AVANT versus Kanga. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll catch you very, very soon.
Just let us see what we'll be finding.
Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like Kung Fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, and I just want it. Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Oh baby, if you ever need a helper, you should know that I'll be there day and night. Nobody else can love you better. I'm here just to treat you right. You're the reason I'm alive. You're the only pain I can endure. And when you're not here,
Deep inside, I knew from the start, you my bunny, I'm your Clark. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my arms. The others don't matter, my love and my pleasure, the key to my treasure. Whatever's the weather, day up and out with you till I die. How many times for you I'ma try? Want you to notice the one and I know this. Perfect soulmate, I wanna show it my best friend. She saved my life, my happy end in hard times.
Oh baby, hug it to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself. I just want it.
Okay.
And we are back live, of course, for the L'Oreal Men Expert Invitational. And of course, we just had our first game, of course, Order beating out the likes of Kanga on very, very one-sided victory. Of course, I'm joined by Matsy. How are we feeling after that first game, Matt?
Well, that first game was certainly quite the show. It was a series of unfortunate events for Kanga there, but for the side of Order, it was the fireworks streaming to the high heavens.
And definitely you could see flashes of brilliance, flashes of everything that you want to see from a newly found roster. And of course, it's going to be up to how Kanga can bounce back, because now they have to face down a team like AVANT, who, in their own regard, just got very, very one-sided showing. Of course, AVANT just versed No-Tick. If you missed that game, it was a very dominant No-Tick sided game, 13-6, and not a result we were expecting.
13-6 is certainly quite the scoreline, particularly from No-Tick up against the side of AVANT, I believe you said there. You'd more, like, on paper, you'd think that the other team perhaps would be getting those kinds of scorelines, like AVANT would be taking away a game like that, but I guess it goes to show that anything's possible, especially in a best of one situation, Tony. Like, you'll find that there's a big difference between a best of one and a best of three, because obviously in the best of three, you've got that flexibility. You might be more favored or less favored towards one map or the other, but it is a battle of endurance in that space. But certainly very impressive of No-Tick, nonetheless, to take a map off the side of AVANT Gaming.
And of course, that was Ascent. We look at recent results here for AVANT. Not a team that normally likes to play Ascent. And of course, my game has just crashed, Matt. We will get back into it very, very quickly. Of course, it's bound to happen. Technical issues are plenty.
I'm in the game.
Give me a radio cast. No,
Yep.
technical issues
All
bound
right,
to happen.
Lima, Oscar Lima. We've got everybody storming into the server right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, Tony. Everybody's getting set up. They're all going towards the A side. Are you back into it?
Not quite yet. I'm trying to boot the game back up. But of course, while we have this brief technical issue, we can talk about AVANT, of course, looking to get a bit of revenge for, of course, the Rise of Valor last chance qualifiers, where Kanga did take the map off of them, and of course it was only a best of one in the round 2, and it's very interesting to see. This game is going to be a grudge match for sure.
Yeah, certainly do have some great things in store, I'm certain, Tony. But as we move our way into this map here, it's starting off quite slowly. Just opting for the snail trail approach, trying to see if anyone's getting a little bit eager, going to peek their head around the corner perhaps. But then as time goes on, I feel like AVANT are going to smash their way onto the site.
Well, I'm still currently booting up the game. Here we go. We're going live. It's Bind, of course, that has gone underway of the vetoes. And a very interesting map here. When we look at the agent selection, very, very similar across the board.
Yeah, like it's pretty much the exact same roster. Obviously, the only difference being the Cypher as well as the Sova on the respective teams there. But just like that, the time is going to go all the way down to 30 seconds here. The pressure is on for AVANT to make their moves now. And here we go, Tony, kicking their way onto the site. We've already got the Omen on top of the vent there. Let's see if they can get that spike down.
It's an early pick by XC. It's a second one as well. Major going to be finding Mist through that smoke. And, well, it appears time paying off in buying it down here, down the wires. Again, Chronics drop towards the back hall. Oz Rhino left to fend off for 1v5. And XC for his third. A brilliant start here. A very strong hit onto that B side for AVANT to start us off.
Yeah, great to see AVANT coming out strong in the end there, as they do very carefully calculate their way onto the site, managing to get the utility down, and then they just managed to wipe out clean slate onto the Kanga roster. Let's see if they can calculate themselves a bit further though, moving into this next round, as we do have Kanga holding steadily.
And of course, we didn't get to touch much on the pre-game who these players are for the side of AVANT. They're very, very dominant in terms of aggressive play, especially Lakers and Major on the Jet and Rays respectively. Very, very prone to entry picks, very prone to opening up a site, and it'll be interesting to see how that comes to play in this game. Of course, Kanga starting it a little rough there. They do find Oz Rhino peeking through bathrooms a little too aggressive, and yeah, it's another early pick found by AVANT.
A nice start. Let's see if they can continue it though. Obviously, Exy taking quite a significant amount of damage, taken all the way down to 20 points of health here. The side of Kanga definitely have those possibilities available, but I can understand the caution in AVANT's play right now. Oh no, the timing not working out so favorably for Kanga there. Lakers just absolutely mowing through his opponents right now. Just unstoppable at this point, and just like that, you see, it's a flawless victory to take the second round there for AVANT. But as we do say that, Tony, it is going to be a bye round for Kanga now. So do you feel like this is going to be where they put the showstopper through?
It will definitely be interesting to see. Unfortunately, they don't have the showstopper yet on Oz Rhino, getting there very, very slowly. But of course, they do have the rifles to work with, Vandals, Phantoms, everything shebang. And, of course, for the side of AVANT, it's the bonus round. A Ghost for the Lakers, 2 Spectres, a Bulldog, and a Vandal in their arsenal. And it's going to be up to how Kanga can hold these aggressive peaks. Of course, you saw Lakers get 3 in that last round.
See if he can find 3 more, perhaps some early vision gained by the side of AVANT there. We do obviously have the recon dart coming through from the Sova, so they know that there's going to be a raise planted towards the A site. The rest of the players on AVANT trying to see if they can scroll out some information as well. Just slowly placing themselves over towards long and outside that hookah position. I really like the divide and conquer coming through from AVANT here, because it's a very different style of play than what we've seen from the likes of Kanga. Obviously, you see Kanga play more with the sense of togetherness. They all like to go towards the one site together. But let's see which style of play will come out on top here.
It's the packed mentality here for Kanga, and well, they've got Psycho and they've got Composed, of course, missed very, very far back, and well, now the hit starts to come in. They flush Psycho out of the corner, and well, they're going to have to find some entry picks here for AVANT. They haven't quite gotten in. That cyber cage will trick them out, and Spesh will be finding another kill. It's quick trades, though, by AVANT walking their way in. They need to be careful, though. There's still a Jet in this site, and she's done marvelous things. Psycho's found 3, and it's left to what? A 1v3, the spike dropped in sight, and not a chance. He grabs it. A very interesting hold from the side of Kanga.
Yeah, great to see Kanga on the comeback there. taking it all the way down to one player. Luckily, White was able to get away with his life, so at least we'll be able to keep the economy a little bit more healthy there. So, obviously, the side of AVANT will be able to buy up into this round. But let's see if they can continue to place themselves in this game, Tony, because obviously, if they lose out this round, it could get a bit uncomfortable for them.
Could definitely feel that way. And for the side of Kanga, maybe looking to go aggressive with it. It's early. Heat shells being tossed by Oz Rhino. Damage being sprayed on into Shower, but no one far up yet. Spesh. Go for the peek in the corner. Smoke immediately being deployed at VANT. Have Lakers on the op as well. This could be quite disastrous if you can find this opener, and it could spell quite a rough time here for Kanga. But of course, very stock standard, very calm level of play right now. Oz Rhino finding one towards that short position. The op drops towards the cubby.
Yeah, very close battle there between Oz Rhino and Lakers. Lakers had the shot lined up, but unfortunately the bullet just didn't hit its mark there. Spike's still going to be down on the ground though. Man advantage even further secured by Oz Rhino, picking up the second onto Major. AVANT trying as they might to push their way onto this site. Certainly having to put up one hell of a fight. Let's see if they can do it now here though, Tony.
He has walked his way out, and he could be finding a player towards the U-Haul. It's a swing, and it's a beautiful shot straight to the dome of Chronix. He knows Mist's close. There's still two more players here. Oz Rhino towards the back of the site, comes out with a swing, and what wins it is Mist still there. Spike will go down. Two players left here for AVANT. Very, very rough scenario. Of course, the Rolling Thunder available for XC, but he's going to go for the peak. Finds the immediate kill on a Mist, and well, now him and Watt will be playing together just next to you, all composed. Walks up, immediately banged out by XC. It's a 3. Looking for his 4th Psycho. Here's the telly. Aftershock comes out. The tap will be faked. And well, it's a very rough scenario here for Composed. He's lying around the smoke. He will get the first. Watt's baiting it out. Waits for the tap. The smoke is on. The spray not quite there. He does find it in the end. The legs to be shot out. A 3rd round for AVANT. A very close one, all things considered there. Psycho doing some brilliant stuff on that jet.
What a well-played round there from AVANT, Tony. Like, with the odds stacked against them, they still kept it going. That didn't faze them whatsoever. And the teamwork that came through there really did pay dividends. They were able to calculate exactly how they wanted to take it, and they took it for their own.
And, well, AVANT, maybe looking to take a few more rounds and really start to get this half warmed up. Kanga, again, at a deficit, and you hate to see it. A team their stature that's been together for a while, unfortunately not quite able to find these rounds against some of these top teams just yet. Of course, the 3 stack towards a very default setup for Kanga, and of course, Psycho's pulled out the jet knives and trying to find a pick here along XC, slowly but surely making his way up. The dart not gonna spot Psycho, and well, it's the B hit to come in slowly for AVANT. XC will be holding the line. The knife comes out. The left click doesn't hit. Slow paced for AVANT, already down to 50 seconds.
I'm really enjoying this slow and steady gameplay coming through from AVANT. Like, they don't give their opponents anything. They don't go into it recklessly. They really take everything with caution. And it's great to see that, because it doesn't give their opponents time to react. Like, they have to stay towards their respective positions because they have no idea where their enemies are going to be coming from. Oh. But as we say that, Tony, they've given themselves away, and now they've managed to take control of A.
Just like that, Lakers is going to open it up here. Blast pack's being tossed by Rhino. They know where he is situated up in heaven. The re-smoke comes out, and AVANT can sit comfortably knowing They have the spike down. They've got all the positions to work with. They see Psycho walk out. It's a quick trade by Xe. There's a few more left in the mix. They're going towards U-Haul though, Matt, and this could be quite disastrous. OzRhino's found one from heaven, and these players are a little far back on short, being taken out, but Major will be taking the fight to them as what now? Left to hold it down, swings on out, the paint shells, the showstopper from OzRhino finishes it off. It's a beautiful one to find Kanga their second round, the full defuse, the second off there. Kanga fire back now 2-3, Matt.
Really great to see Kanga able to bounce back there. A very hard-fought endeavor, but they managed to pull through. That showstopper came in crucial. OzRhino certainly playing a key factor in their defense so far in the game, Tony. And you see, the side of AVANT, they're forced onto a partial eco. The rest of their players really weighing up whether perhaps they want to buy a weapon or two, and looks like they are going to go for that half buy. I mean, they can afford to do so why wouldn't you get those better weapons out there as well?
Especially against the likes of AVANT, and start to really flex those rifles and put them to good use, of course. It's a very broken buy on the side of AVANT to Sheriff, Stinger, 2 Spectres, and a Frenzy. A lot of aggression being shown here. OzRhino is now really feeling himself. The flash towards Bathroom, and what tucked in the corner will be spotted. The swing comes out, and OzRhino finding the entry pick that the side of Kanga really need. But over on the other side of things, it's the B hit. Showstopper not quite able to land here. Lakers isn't going to check his corners. Xe though comes in with a big frag. Rolling Thunder tossed out and denies the plant for just the moment here. It's a lot of trade kills going on, and it's not really much AVANT can do here to hold it down. It's Chronix with a double, 7 points of HP, finding Kanga their third.
Really well played round there from AVANT, honestly. Like, taking it all the way down to the one last player again, doing some hefty damage on their economy. I mean, look at them right now. They can't afford those Vandals. They're going to have to go straight for the alternative there. And you see the Bulldog going to be the weapon of choice. So definitely a well-fought endeavor. And let's hope that it gives them a bit of an edge coming into this next one.
And you can definitely feel a bit of a difference from that last game. Of course, they're not facing down a Titan-like order. They're facing down a very formidable opponent in AVANT, but easily manageable. We're seeing a lot of early kills being found by OzRhino, and there's the one, as we said, cast a curse. It may be a cast a blessing. As he evens it up to the 4v4, and AVANT are playing, again, a slow pace of style, but it's being adapted by Kanga.
Great adaptation to come through from Kanga, as you were touching on there, Tony. Really awesome to see that they've managed to get their thinking caps on since the last game and are really managing themselves very effectively. But now, the AVANT push certainly in order. One again missed, able to put a stop to it though. OzRhino joining in on the fun, and now it's 2 versus 4 again, Tony. We've seen what AVANT can do in a 2 versus 4 before. Let's see if they can do it again.
TP just to fake it out. OzRhino's scared of the Heaven Peak. Is this still a player in shower? It's Spesh and What. Their backs to the wall and trying to walk out here. Psycho goes for the peak, but What goes for an early kill. A second one on a mist. And those are some beautiful windups. He needs to be careful though. Composed and Psycho still here. Psycho has found Spesh. What lines up for a fourth. Doesn't spot the player. Gets the spike. 5 seconds on the clock. Here's Psycho drops himself to U-Haul. Spike will be planted. Watt's going to use that smoke to his advantage. He's going to peek it at the opportune moment. Psycho wins it out, but a beautiful 3k there, defined by Watt.
Such close rounds coming through on both sides, Tony. Always down to the very last player. It can never be edged one way or the other because both of these teams are on equal footing right now.
if you're a Kanga fan, you must be cheering right now. Finally, some signs of life that we want to see from a roster of their regard. Been together since the early days, since the first Ignition series. And, of course, not making a single roster change since. And it's good to see a team like them stick together and finally start to show some results here in this Invitational.
Hard work pays off, Tony. That is for certain. Let's hope that they continue to put in the hard yards, because there is a steep hill ahead of them yet. They have quite the job ahead of them here. Really like this crossfire that's actually been put in order by Kanga to try and deal with that player in Exy there. Really great that they're not allowing them to take that territory so easily, because if you give AVANT territory, then they can just abuse it. It really gives them an edge over you, because then they have the control, they have the flexibility to just do whatever they please. Let's see how they shape up towards B.
Oh, Exy. No way he gets that kill. He checks that corner. We'll get it. That's the TP out towards the back hall. Psycho, though, has found two and has found himself a safe position. Watt has made his way into B, but he needs to be careful. There's two players on the other end of that smoke, and he will take out the player. It's OzRhino dropped with a showstopper in hand. Chronic and Psycho towards long here, and Special needs to make some magic happen, as he hasn't got Lakers to work with. The left click from the knives. Mist has been found. Spike has been retrieved. Chronics versus Lakers. The 1v1. Smoke straight back onto the Spike. And, oh, not like this. Chronic's caught checking the wrong angle. Lakers going absolutely huge there. Finally finding AVANT their 4th round here.
Really great to see AVANT on the comeback there. Finally managing to come out on top out of those one-on-one situations. And it certainly has paid off, because now we see the side of Kanga falling down the well are going to be stuck on the pistols. Certainly a great opportunity for AVANT to bounce back, coming towards the later stages of this first half here.
Might be seeing some aggression here from Kanga. Mist is so far up, and he's of course backed by Chronics and OzRhino. Firing squad coming on in, and well, I think he's might be in the right time and the right spot. He is holding that smoke. Waits for it to dissipate. The paranoia comes. He has to toss a smoke of his own. The cloudburst coming out. Falls back to safety. Immediately nails the head of Psycho, though, from mid. Just like that. Picks are being found by AVANT, and they're not even having to push anywhere.
It certainly does promote their gameplay when you push towards them, Tony. That's for certain, because you've seen how they play already throughout the series. Like, they wait things out, wait for the opponents to potentially come to them, slowly taking that territory, preparing themselves for the site take. But if you push towards them and they're ready for you, then that just makes their job a little bit easier.
That boombot being deployed by Major. A very smart thing to do. Of course, now rest of AVANT have all the clue of what's going on. It's Major with the double. Now it's left to Composed. A nice shot. Found from too short. Neural Theft available as well. That Spike planted A, and well, Lakers could be going hunting here. He's all the way teleported through mid, and see hot on his trail as well. I don't think Composed will be able to save this Vandal today.
No, won't be able to save it there, but luckily for Kanga, they can buy up into this round once again, Tony. So we could see another hard-fought round coming out of this one. Obviously going all the way down to the wire previously. I'm curious to see if it is going to come down to that 1 versus 1 again.
It's definitely interesting to see. Of course, it's 5-4, a very close half, and still Kanga could show us some signs of life. Of course, guns in their hands this time around. And rightfully so, Psycho and OzRhino have been absolutely huge and pivotal in this game so far for Kanga.
Certainly boosting up the confidence of the team. Really dependable players, and I'm sure that their teammates truly appreciate that. Let's see. The appreciation will be in order. Further though, Major taking quite a lot of damage early on there. Does manage to take out Psycho for his troubles though, so it's not all bad. But as we say that, Watt also being tagged quite low on the side of Avant, so I don't know if it's a worthy trade to come through. The positive is that they've managed to maintain their life, so they can still be put to use. Maybe deal out some damage towards some respective players. Maybe be the entry fragger, if you will. But let's see how Avant choose to really approach the rest of this round. Obviously, stacking their way towards B.
Posed in a very nice off angle. Of course, he's got the camera to use. It's going to be up to how Mist puts these flashes and such to work here. The drop comes in one way though. It's a 3K like that from Composed. A beautiful lineup. Discipline comes in, but Avant, low HP bars, and this is where they do best in scrappy fights like this. We'll get that spike down. The wallbang trying to come on in. What up on the angle? Of course, both of these players, as you said, very low HP, 20 and 18 respectively. And they're going to have to play off each other brilliantly. The paranoia from Chronix is so good. But he's going to expect a swing at a moment's notice. Watt finds the trade. He now knows that Ozrider has wrapped his way around. Smoke comes in. The tap will be in success. And it's going to be the full stick. Ozrider, pros don't fake. This is Counter-Strike all over again as he wins the round. And Watt left with his toes in his hands, 5-5, and Avant are gonna drop that round, but Matt.
Certainly a well fought out round, and Composed just turning up there, putting himself into the game. What a wonderful triple kill to come through. Like, they left that angle unchecked. They weren't expecting it, and it paid off so brilliantly for the side of Kanga there. Now edging them closer towards the later stages of this half. 2 rounds to go, and evening up the scoreline, 5-5.
And now we see the effects of that first game now. Back of the minds of Kanga, they're warmed up, ready to go. And you can still see a bit of hesitation from the side of Avant. Of course, Lakers still ready to frag up a storm as ever. The entry pick, the second on the Mist in the U-Haul. Hunter's Fury finding another Psycho and Compose. Going huge on the hold, now need to go huge on this retake, but I don't know if they've got the money to work for it here, Matt.
Yeah, their economy's pretty unimpressive at the moment. Like, the best case scenario, maybe they just stick to Latibulating, just hold it out with one another. Try and maintain those 2 Vandals, because at the end of the day, if they do maintain the Vandals, perhaps they can buy for their teammates in the next round, and then it could be a smoother transition towards the next half.
And speaking of halves, we now go after the spike will dissipate. But find themselves a 6 and find some exit kills here onto the 2 Kanga players. Of course, playing very poised in the backhaul. Psycho goes to the swing, drops Lakers. Tosses the smoke. It's now the last round of the half. A round found advantage by Avant, but Kanga still have a lot to work with in this game. Of course, Bind, it's very interesting to see such a slow style of play coming out from Avant.
Slow and steady wins the race, Tony. That is the saying, but let's see if that holds true towards the rest of this map, because obviously it's quite a close endeavor on both sides here. So let's see if Avant looks to put their foot on the accelerator, start to get a little bit faster than this slow and calculated gameplay that they've pushed out throughout this game thus far.
Flash coming towards short. Lakers, the sole player there. Smoke deployed. Is Kanga, to their own credit, playing short very aggressively against the players of Avant, who, in their own regard, have been holding quite convincingly.
Pushes slowly but steadily. Going to be in order here. Lakers There's an inkling of the positioning of some of these players on Kanga. Oh, those paint shells actually worked out so well for the side of Kanga, forcing Lakers into that uncomfortable situation, and Chronix is able to capitalize tenfold, getting that opening kill. But now this is forcing Avant in kind into a desperate situation, Tony.
Oh. Rolling Thunder there, the trade kills come out. Oz Rhino and the likes of Mist need to go absolutely huge there, though Mist with the first does toss out the flash and will blind out Spesh, but he gets it full white and ready to go. 14 seconds and Avant pulling the trail over towards this B site. Composed is in a really good spot. Camera to spot, comes on with a swing spot. Spesh gets a second onto XC, and just like that, it's all she wrote. 6-6, and Composed holding it down in the last moments there for Kanga.
Certainly did stay composed, not overly committing towards the rotate on the A site. Managing to leave himself just ready and waiting towards B in case of that potential possibility that they do rotate their efforts over. And they certainly did. Ready and waiting. He got the job done.
And now, still anyone's game. The pistol round here, the sides have swapped. It's now Avant to hold off on the defense, of course. Kanga now to attack, and it's going to be interesting to see how Kanga choose to play it. Of course, we saw slow takes from Avant, very methodical approach, sometimes paying off, sometimes not. But of course, we've seen from Kanga in their first game a very packed mentality. They like to go together, no one going for a lurk, no one going for a cheeky kill here or there. It's the first from Psycho, the right click, straight to the face of what? It's a good trade by Spesh, but a better one from Compose. They find themselves in a site just like that, Matt. And Avant have to retake here in the 3v4.
3-on-4, slight disadvantage, but they can certainly close that gap. As you see, they closed it, but then it widens once again. Chronix on the refrag. Now it's on to Major and Lakers. Try and single out these players. Lakers takes out 1, 2 more to follow. However, they need to do everything they can to take control of this site. But little do they know, the players aren't towards that position. They're stuck in the shower right now. They're cleaning up nicely, Tony. They're really trying their best to get on the spike, but it's just not working out. They're just playing ring around the rosy, around the angles, and Chronix gets it done.
Very, very patient, very calm under the pressure there from Kanga. And a beautiful double stack that Avant weren't expecting in showers. And Kanga now with a round lead again, 7-6. Gun's going to be purchased. It's Bulldogs, it's Spectres, it's everything to flex their muscle right now against Avant.
Bringing out everything they possibly can, as you said there, Tony, and let's see if they can put it to good use. Nice big stack to actually come through from Avant in this round, just running all the way up long. The paint shell's doing a little bit of damage to at least one of them, but will it do enough damage to the rest? You see, they're just holding W at this point, Tony. They're just unstoppable here. All players looking to meet each other face to face, but as we say that, their positions have been given away, and this has given Kanga free reign to take control of the site.
It's Composed to hold the flank, the flash, the paranoia as well comes out. And Kanga not scared of taking this fight against these pistols. Of course, Spectres and Bulldogs in their arsenal, and again, early picks going their way. It's another through that smoke. Mist just has the numbers and the timing right now. We'll be tossing out the Rolling Thunder. Still 2 to find from Avant, but they're playing in very, very cheeky off angles. It's Kanga to find them in the end, and Kanga now to take a 2-round lead. It appears playing defense on their attack side, man.
Yeah, really struggling at the moment for the side of Avant, but nonetheless, they are going to be able to buy up into this round on their defender side hold. Obviously trying to play very offensively, as we did see in the previous round, but certainly didn't pay off for them. Hopefully they can adapt themselves in this round, though, take that slow and steady calculated approach that we've seen from them, because I feel like that's going to promote them on their defender side.
Well, AVANT looking like a shell of the team that they just signed. Of course, X-Control formerly making it, I believe, all the way to the top 10 in the Ignition series. Unfortunately, falling short in the playoffs. And it's interesting to see their road from being signed to AVANT. Of course, we expected a lot of things of this roster. Very high-tier names. Lakers, of course, Major, what all come to mind. XE as well. I've had the pleasure of covering in the past, and it's looking like rough showing from AVANT tonight.
Yeah, not sure what's going on in their camp at the moment. Hopefully they can put themselves back together, though. Looks like they're just holding steadily for the time being, just jiggling their respective angles. Lakers obviously not picking up any weapons, but completely understandable, because when you have the Blade Storm available, that's all you really need. If you can play around that, get a kill, then the weapons come to you. As we say that, though, here comes Kanga.
Here they come, the telly taken. Lakers, though, quick trade by Composed, and well, Rhino will be finding one of his own. Major comes swing from the U-Haul, but Composed very, very ready of what's going on, and Kanga, in the shortest amount of time, take that kill. A second trade, Spesh from Heaven. Now down to the 1v2. Recon dart used. He knows there's a player fallen back to bathroom. He doesn't know where Composed is, though. Sitting comfortably in the U-Haul. The walk up will be coming out. The dash being used to bait the sound, and Composed will swing out for the third. And Kanga now taking a 9-6 lead. Looking like a completely different team than the first game.
They're turning up right now, Tony. They are turning up when it counts, and it is paying off swimmingly for them. Because now they've pushed AVANT all the way to an eco round again. They are certainly in contention to go for double digits here. But coming up against those Sheriffs, though, do you reckon they might have a hard task ahead of them?
It definitely would seem like the case. If Lakers can... Oh, there it is. As I say it, Lakers finding the early pick and the entry that they really need. There's so many players pushed out through Shower. It's Watt and Spesh going to take the fight to Kanga. And of course, they've been playing a very similar style to how AVANT played their attack side. Psycho spots out a swing. Holds for a second, though. Very, very aware how AVANT want to play this round, given they're on the Sheriffs.
Great effort from AVANT early on there to take out Oz Rhino, of all people. A key contender that they needed to take away, and they certainly have done a very good job of taking out that one piece of the Millennium Puzzle. As we say that, though, it looks like the rest of Kanga slowly slicing through the site have managed to take out a couple of players. Still got a couple more to go, though. Mist is going to fall down as well. 2 versus 2 situation here. XE and Lakers paying dividends for their team. Unfortunately, not able to take out any more, but a valiant effort from them nonetheless, taking it all the way down to 2 players. That is certainly heavy damage on Kanga's economy.
It would feel that way, but Psycho has plenty of money in the arsenal, about 8k. And we'll be dropping, of course, over to his teammates. Still 5 in his back pocket, and many ults to come here from Kanga. AVANT, they're very close to theirs as well. This would be a battle of the ultimates in this next round, of course. 10-6, Kanga leading very comfortably now on Bind, and it's interesting to see AVANT haven't been able to quite answer them just yet.
Yeah, they're still just left at the door at the moment. Haven't been able to find the key, but that certainly could change in this round. As we say that, though, the Rolling Thunder going to come through to kick things off towards the B site. Kanga establishing themselves very dominantly there, and are going to be able to get the spike planted as well. Full 5-on-5 retake. Ooh, make that 4v5. Very well placed play from XE there.
Very well-timed bang, and, well, off your feet, the Rolling Thunder Lakers with the double shot coming from the op, and now it's left to Composed and Oz Rhino, and just like that, Composed will find a first. It's a trade by Lakers and Spesh immediately. Neural Theft being wasted, and unfortunate there from the side of Kanga. AVANT were just able to hold them off. They waited for the 5v5 retake, and then Lakers just went to town with that operator.
Yeah, Lakers certainly knew that it was time to get the job done, got the carry pants on, and managed to clutch it out for his team there, just absolutely tearing through those players, one after the other. Really great to see that they are able to push themselves forward on the path of redemption, Tony. And let's see if the operator's going to prove powerful coming into the rest of the game.
It's taking a different approach. Kanga, well, still money to buy, money to burn. Psycho will be finally pulling out the op of his own. He's got the knives to work with as well, and this could be very interesting to see. The slow walk up, the crossfire this time again from Kanga, but attack side laying together. Of course, we've got Chronix looking just outside a bathroom, just expecting a short peek, and again another slow-paced attack round here from Kanga.
Yeah, really taking something out of AVANT's playbook here, just really thinking their way through things before they actually commit to them. Just trying to see if they can spot something before they fully commit and pounce onto a site. Ooh, looks like they have actually heard the drone there though, so they know that the Sova's going to be playing towards that elbow position. That's some key information they've gained there, and it looks like, based on that, they're diverting their attention towards A, but considering there's 3 players laying in wait for them, I don't know if it's the right call, Tony.
Definitely feel that way. Rolling Thunder Flash comes out, and the knives immediately dismantled by Lakers. The showstopper has been pulled out. Full blind here as the players from Kanga try and walk their way in. Not just on the other side of that smoke, and Chronix would be waiting to chime on in. It's 2 seconds left. Spike not going to be able to go down. What going to swing the Chronix? Composed will save. But a hold from AVANT there. Such beautiful timing there, and a crucial shot to land from Lakers.
The operator certainly showing its strength there. A very expensive and a very powerful weapon. And if Kanga can take that out of AVANT's hands, then maybe they might be able to find that success that they had earlier, Tony. But right now, it looks like AVANT, they've found their niche. They know exactly what they need to do, and they are playing around that AWP so dominantly.
Of course, those stemmer rounds here, the 2 found by the side of AVANT, has made a dent now in the economy for Kanga. Of course, Composed and Chronix still with 2k in the bank, but everyone now down to $0, all forced up into this one. Well, Kanga are going to have to go big, or we might be seeing this game go very, very even.
Even Stevens certainly could be in order, Tony, but for the time being, it is just going to be a slow and calculated approach once again. Lakers actually opting to play towards B this time. I feel like maybe they're betting on the fact that obviously Lakers has been playing towards A predominantly, and obviously Kanga might have got an inkling that that could be the case, but I really like that Kanga, they aren't like falling back on what they've been doing previously. They're continuing their assault towards A, and this time without Lakers so close by could actually pay off. But look at this rotation though, Tony.
Rotation coming in quickly. Lakers already to heaven here. Rest of AVANT surely in hot pursuit. Major from the door. The breach flash comes out. Watt still in heaven as well. These players from Kanga need to play very smart and safe. AVANT are starting to come in for the retake here. Mist needs to go huge. He gets one from U-Haul. Flash fully white. Can't find another. 2 stacked up. He showers yet again for Kanga, but there's got to be adaptability. They know where Kanga are playing from, but it's the peak from XC. It's the peak from Chronix. He almost finds the lineup onto Spesh, but beautiful 3k from XC. And just like that, it's evened up 9 to 10 and potentially looking to go 10-10, because of course Kanga very, very limited on the money. Will be forcing out, but if they lose this one, it could be dire straits for them.
Yeah, certainly is a recipe for disaster if they lose this one out, Tony, because they could be put into that eco situation, and that is not where they want to be right now. They want to be able to push themselves forward as best they can, but with the weapons that they've been handed to them this time, it's going to be difficult.
Kanga start to wane on the mental now. Of course, they had such a strong strew of rounds going into the swap. Now 10-9 and facing down a potential tied scoreline. They'll be slowly approaching this B hit. XC and Lakers doing magical things on the rotate. Of course, now the players to hold down the site. Kanga need to pounce and very, very quickly.
Well, looks like AVANT's going to be pouncing there, Tony, because they did manage to get the opening kill, make that 2. Lakers just absolutely tearing through again. The sniper proving to be powerful, finding another one. Finally, OzRhino puts him down, but is it too little too late, Tony? Because it's already down to 2 versus 4.
Make it 1 here left to the OzRhino up in Hookah player, and he will be taking out the tag from the Hunter's Fury. And just like that, it's 10-10. AVANT, it's been absolutely phenomenal bounce back from such a rough start to an even half to a rough start in the second, and now we're seeing these crucial players come to life. It's XE, it's Lakers, it's Major, it's Spesh, all coming to fruition here, and finally seeing a return to form for AVANT.
Looks like they've identified the pattern in Kanga's gameplay now, and now they're playing around one another, doing their very best to stop any form of battery can come through from the Kanga side here. But as we say that, Tony, here comes the ultimates, Rolling Thunder, followed up by the response in the showstopper. AVANT able to get the opener as well. Things looking good so far, but will they continue to go that way?
Been an onslaught right now. It's all across the wire. The spike is dropped and AVANT down to the 5v2, make it 5v0. Just like that, kills quick succession. AVANT locked down the hit before it even becomes a reality. Kanga finally on the back foot in this best of 1. It's 11-10, and again we speak on players like Lakers, XE, just phenomenal picks. Really reading what Kanga have to bring to the table tonight.
Yeah, certainly showing that they have a very diverse background. They have plenty of various playstyles all mashed together into one wonderful team. But let's see how the side of Kanga chooses to respond now. Obviously forced into the back end again, stuck on those submachine guns. It's not great, but it can turn into wonderful things. They just need to set themselves up properly. Oh, the ability comes through. Lakers actually picks up 1 there.
Oh.
Unfortunately, not going to be able to pick up the next, though. Sticking out to the Blade Storm, and it doesn't pay off.
He needs to be careful there. The wraparound from OzRhino. The showstopper immediately eats his spawn, but no one there. The side of AVANT. But comes out, they know it's planted tube, and Major's still towards the back hall. Spesh will find another. It's left to Composed. Stay very calm, collected. Peeks through the smoke, gets the first. Now plays across the boom bot. It's what though from the back hall to find AVANT their 12th round here, and match point for the side of AVANT. And well, going into this second half, we wouldn't expect a scoreline like this.
Certainly a great comeback to come through from AVANT here, all the way down to match point, taking 6 rounds in a row, Tony. This is a great effort from them. And now there's one thing between them and glory.
Waiting the next and potentially finally looking to put 1 on the board for their troubles tonight, and of course, to move on into the Invitational. And well, neither of these teams really wanting to go down 0-2, but might be Kanga gonna have to pull something short of a miracle back against the wall. Very, very limited util to work with.
A lot of pressure laying on this round for Kanga. They're trying to prod at the respective sites here. Trying to see if they can find something, anything. And once they get their hands on it, Tony, then it all can come rolling in from there.
And it's interesting to see maybe Kanga doubting their pact mentality. You see a very split map at the moment, imposed over at long. Mist finally going to group up with Ozrhino on short, but I don't know how to feel. Composed on the lurk, it's not really seeming to pay off much. Here, Kanga go for the final take of potentially this game, and but Spesh already to find the opener here. What will be getting sprayed on through though? Good trades coming back from Kanga. Spesh needs to hold it down, finds a kill from Heaven. 15 seconds on the clock, and the late plant comes out. The Rolling Thunder, the dash on in, the shot from Psycho. An immediate trade though, a convert from Exy. Finds two, but can't find the third. Composed stays alive. 11-12, a huge round there to hold on for Kanga.
That is certainly a great outcome to come through from the Kanga side, Tony, and we are almost going to be pushing our way towards that 12-12 scoreline. Kanga, a lot weighs on their shoulders. Do you think that they can do it here?
I'm definitely a believer after what I've seen from Composed this entire half. Something short of a miracle. This man knows when to come up clutch when it's needed. Oh my god, not like this. Spesh. Again, another early pick. It's the op in his hands this time. It's a double op setup. Lakers over at B. Kanga. It's another early pick being lost. And this is not the round to lose it.
Let's hope that they can keep their composure. Don't lose themselves in the music. Sure, it is a 4 versus 5 for the side of Kanga right now, but even out of less than ideal circumstances, you still can find success. AVANT are a testament to that, coming out of a 2-on-4 situation and making it work. Let's see if Kanga can have a little bit of magic in their play as well here.
Such a well-timed paranoia, though. It's going to be up to remaining members of Kanga. They're walking themselves up. It's Composed to entry on in. Aftershock comes out, Rolling Thunder. The Hunter's Fury from Spesh, though. Composed finds a player towards the side of U-Haul, and Chronix has TP'd his way to Bathroom, and this could be a brutal spot taken out from the spike. Will finally go down. That shock dart not able to land onto Mist, and well, it's Exy coming off firing. The shock dart actually does land, and it's now left to Chronix, the 1v4 of his life, and can't quite get the tally off. It's Spesh to close it. 13-11. AVANT fight back tooth and nail in that second half, and Kanga, unfortunate circumstances, that will be their second loss against AVANT. And I have to give him a pat on the back though, Matt. That was some brilliant play we saw from Kanga.
I certainly have to agree with you there, Tony. Like, Kanga, they were coming out hot. They were absolutely on fire in that game. And you could see they were so eager. They were so close. But AVANT, they managed to pull through in the end.
And we look at the scoreboard to see how AVANT pieced it together. It was the Lakers with 27 kills, XC with 22, Spesh even coming in at the end there, 19-14 for him, and just a dominant showing from AVANT. Of course, being locked out early, but still have a fighting chance in that game.
And it really goes to show that teams like this can go toe-to-toe, Tony. Really great to see live and with everybody at home tonight just how much these teams are improving. I'm so excited for the direction that our region is heading in, and I feel that when we have the opportunity to showcase ourselves on the world stage, we're certainly going to be turning some heads.
Definitely going to be interesting to see when we do see an international win, apparently going to happen in the near future. We look at teams like AVANT, we look at teams like EXO, ORD, all of those very, very dominant top contending teams just show up huge and do our region proud. But AVANT, they've done their org proud. They do get the revenge for the last chance qualifiers. They will go 1-1, of course, now in the grudge match that we've been talking about. But guys, that will be it for our second match. Don't go anywhere though. We've got one more game for you. It's Legacy versus RipNTear in just about 20 so minutes. But guys, much love. And again, shout out to the Chiefs, shout out to Intel, and shout out to, of course, the Real Men Expert for bringing this invitational to us and getting us familiar with who's the best in our region, of course, showing up massively in all of these games are all of these teams. But guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very shortly with our final game. It's Legacy versus RipNTear after the break.
And all the days we've spent together. You feel it so soon. Too many risks to take. Just let us see what we'll be finding. Come with us and walk along the road. Along the road. Everything we've done, everything to come, we will always hold together. All the memories and all the days we've spent together. You feel it so soon. Too many risks to take. Just let us see what we'll be finding. Hey, come with us and walk along the road. Along the road. Everything we've done, everything to come, we will always hold together.
Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like Kung Fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, and I just want it.
Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself?
Oh, baby, if you ever need a helper, you should know that I'll be there day and night. Nobody else can love you better. I'm here just to treat you right. You're the reason I'm alive. You're the only pain I can endure. And when you're not here, you're my dream, but I just want it. Yeah, I just wanna. You're my dream, but I just want it.
Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself?
inside, I knew from the start. You my bunny, I'm your Clark. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my arms. The others don't matter, my love and my pleasure, the key to my treasure. Whatever's the weather, day up and out with you till I die. How many times for you I'ma try? Want you to notice the one and I know this. Perfect soulmate, I wanna show it my best friend. She saved my life, my happy end in hard times.
Oh baby, hug it to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself. I just want it.
Take it to myself, take it to myself, take it to myself, to myself, take it to myself, take it to myself, take it to myself.
Okay.
Take it to myself, take it to myself, take it to myself, to myself, take it to myself, take it to myself, take it to myself.
Oh baby,
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, my life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Can I be your superhero?
I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I'm cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day.
forget this day.
I'll never forget this day. I'll never forget this day. I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I'm cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day. 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 I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I'm cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day.
And we are back live with, of course, the L'Oreal Men Expert Invitational. And Matt, it's been quite a night here. Upsets galore. Everybody in Group A being tied for first at the moment. Group B looking a little less upset heavy, but of course, it's been a night full of them. Legacy, of course, just beating EXO. We didn't get to see it, of course, on our stream, but got to watch it over on the main channel. Legacy taking it 13-10 against EXO. What a performance from them.
Really impressive, honestly, and it's so great to see somebody is able to take down the Titan that is the EXO clan. Legacy certainly shaping up to be an impressive roster.
And of course, we can't go without saying Legacy, you know, they've just been put together. This is a team that has come together off the back of GZ disbanding, a bunch of players from Launch leaving, of course, Ferg, Froma of Launch left before they signed to Order, now joining Legacy with the likes of Zenkoko, Gaza, Panic, and Dioxide. And of course, it's a really put together roster, and it's interesting to see them find some early success here in the Invitational. And of course, very veteran names to us as CS casters, Matt.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite a marvel to actually be able to cast someone of the likes of Gaza, who has quite an abundance of experience in the respective Counter-Strike titles, like Counter-Strike 1.6, a little bit of CSGO as well. Like, the man certainly has a lot up in that brain.
He's definitely had a stint in competitive Counter-Strike, of course, playing for the former ex-Atletico roster in CSGO, now transitioning to Valorant. Of course, it's good to see him back, and he's joined by some very familiar faces for us as CS casters. Panic, a player that's been bouncing around all these top teams, just finally finding a roster that he can roll with. Of course, Dioxide as well, a player that, you know, he's been around the Valorant scene for quite a while. He played back in the original startup team with Crunchy, back when they were Bumble Boys, all the way during those first few community tournaments that were being run.
It is impressive to see somebody who did actually play with someone of the likes of Crunchy, who obviously is on the EXO clan now, the #1 team in the region. And, you know, coming from the roots there, it's no wonder that a team like Legacy is already finding success.
And it's good to see them find it. Of course, a lot of pressure being signed to an org like Legacy, a very reputable org here in the Oceanic region. And of course, it's good to see them have some early success. They were a dark horse going to this Invitational. No past games. No one knows. No one's seen anything from them other than how they've shown up in the server. And of course, we've been speaking a lot about Legacy. We look over at RipNTear, also former CS professional players. Of course, Scrawl, Lukey, Koro, Void, Greg, very, very strong individual roster. Haven't quite been able to crack the top 5 just yet, but they're looking to make a name for themselves here in this Invitational.
I'm excited to see exactly what they're going to be capable of as well, Tony. Like, we've certainly seen them make some little waves, like, previously. They've certainly been able to put up a good showing, but let's see if they can contend with the likes of Legacy tonight.
And of course, both of these teams have been invited to the First Strike group stage, so we will get to see them over in that tournament as well. But our vetoes have gone the way. It is Haven here for the final best of 1 here on the community stream. As we swap it over, we can hear the players running around. It will be our final map here of the community cast. It's going to be Legacy versus the likes of RipNTear, and I'm just gonna have to quickly fix the scoreboard. But
just a fair warning, Tony, my game has crashed.
Your game has crashed. Okay, I'll take it from here for this game. And of course, I believe RipNTear currently they 1-1, or they 2-0. They 2-0 or they 1-1? I think they're 1-1. Someone confirm that, deny that. But of course, interesting picks coming out here for both of these teams. Legacy going for a very stock standard comp, of course, flashes, intel from the Sova, and Well, for RipNTear, it's a very aggressive comp. It's Koro this time on the Phoenix, normally on the Omen, and not what we're used to seeing from RipNTear. As the fights are already going on, it's Koro to find the first on a panic. Spots the jump up here from Deoxide. He's immediately taken by Void, who's crucial on these entries. Gazza's still bouncing around the site. Right clicks aplenty. Can't quite find the final kill. Scroll taking out Gazza, and Zenkoko will fall. It's a double from Lukey. RipNTear gonna start it off strong here, Matt.
Yes, I did finally get back into the game at the end there, and I saw Lukey put a nice little bullet in the head of his opponent. So certainly looks like it's shaped up to be quite the round to start things off. Obviously, Gazza doing some damage as well there. So I'm pretty keen to see if Legacy will be able to perhaps bring themselves back into this second round. Obviously, the early advantage going the way of RipNTear, but even if you are stuck on pistols, doesn't mean that you can't get the kills.
And we didn't get to speak much on the pregame, but RipNTear are a team that aren't afraid to play this Haven. Of course, a pocket pick being a sent for them as well. But, of course, Haven, a very favored map, statistic-wise, for RipNTear. Of course, being played over in the LPL Evolution. Of course, currently 6-1, first place convincingly into playoffs for them over on the LPL ladder. But, of course, this is a completely different tournament. These are completely different teams that they are facing. But already an early start. Looking to find maybe a few more and really capitalize against Legacy.
Very sluggish start to the round, but as we say that, some noise has started to be made towards the middle position there. Breach obviously going to be using their ability to stall out their opponents as well. So Legacy doing a great job at keeping the side of RipNTear away from the sites, but too little too late, because now their fate has been sealed. They're going to be storming their way straight through the front.
Well, it's going to be up to the members of RipNTear to find these early exits, these early entries. It's a double from Koro. Zenkoko with one, but immediately drops to the floor. Ferg, as he might, can't get any flank kills either. RipNTear, a convincing second round, only losing Koro. Would have preferred they lost none, but one is fine to drop, and, well, now it's the bonus round here. Can they find a third in a row, or do we see Legacy find something of their own? Of course, we spoke on names like Gazza, like Panic, who will have been around for quite a while, bouncing around the Counter-Strike scene, but, of course, making a name for themselves. Panic, one of those players I look at to find these entries in this game for Legacy.
Certainly a dependable player. Absolutely, Tony, but obviously there are going to be other elements they need to think about as well. Runner back going to be used there by Koro. Oh my gosh, what a flick of the wrist from Koro. Zenkoko has just been sent straight to the Shadow Realm. And just like that, Tony, they secure the spike plan as well.
And for Legacy, they've been locked out of this site. The Jet Knives here for Gazza if he wants to use them. But they're going to have to work strong and quickly here. The spike has been planted, but no one's showing face. Everyone from RipNTear playing in towards this middle side of the map. It's Void front on, and is the tap not going to see the stick, though? As they're just laying on bullets onto that spike. It's a double, though. Knife from Gazza. Second from Deoxide. Panic as well. Not panicking here. Playing very smart and safe. As RipNTear have the lineup towards the spike, but Gazza's going to stick it, and he's going to find it. Gazza puts Legacy on the board, as RipNTear couldn't quite find the lineup there. They had all of the post-plant positioning. But RipNTear drop it. Much needed one found by Legacy.
That is so devastating for the side of RipNTear, Tony. They had complete control over that round. It was in their hands, but the smokes just proven to be too powerful because Gazza had free reign, managed to get the defusal with 0.88 seconds remaining. Certainly a great way to put Legacy on the game.
But we look to Gazza and Panic, because this hit is coming in quick for the side of RipNTear. It's Void, as we got said in the pregame, the player to look for here for RipNTear, and he's already found two, but Panic Has found 2 of his own in the back of the site. Spike will go down. And all the gunfights have been settled. It's 2v3 now here for the Legacy. Player very posted up in a good angle towards the garage window. We'll be finding Zenkoko, and the Oxide has walked his way in. Smoke on top of the site. No cages to work with. He's going to have to stick this one fully or fake it out. To play it long, that's Greg. Taken out. Scroll and Lukey defended off. The tap, the hold. The Oxide has baited out another kill to come in. And Scroll is going to hold it. The Oxide goes to halfway. Baits the shot, but Scroll holds on strong. RipNTear put 3 now on the board. A beautiful discipline there from Scroll.
Yeah, well played by the RipNTear side in the end there. Obviously getting a little bit scary once the Oxide started to switch on. Was able to calculate exactly how to go for those engagements and singled it all the way down to the one-on-one endeavor. So very impressive, I'd say, on both sides. But now, obviously, Legacy going to be left in the eco round. Let's see if they can come back from this one.
Definitely would hope to show something. Zenkoko is just going to be sitting in that mid-smoke. A very bold play. He'll sit it down. The Oxide's been tagged low. The shock dart comes out. Doesn't actually land onto him, though. He's very safe for the time being. Gaza, here's the reload. Pounce here. Scroll. Drone. Rolling Thunder. He now knows there's a player coming close. He needs to be more careful here. Gaza takes a shot. Dashes out to safety. Falls on off the angle, of course. The Oxide just taking pot shots. In the end, no one dying here on Legacy, and Panic could be doing quite a bit of work. He's got the paranoia in his hands. He hears the dart, here's the flash, and holds at the right click straight to the face of Koro. Scroll, though, quickly to return, and now RipNTear walk their way on. It's a left click. The Church coming out from Void. Z's a believer. Gaza left in the 1v4 map.
Yeah, 1v4 and really forced to latibulate here, just stuck in the corner, nowhere else to go. Maybe might be able to find an exit kill if anyone chooses to move towards the garage position, but honestly, I'd say it's unlikely. Like, you've already got your 2 teammates posted up towards long here. It is on Gaza to try and make something happen here. As soon as this cyber cage goes down, you see, he tries to go for the shots. Unfortunately, they don't connect as favorably as he'd been hoping for, but regardless, pretty well done by Legacy to at least take out one of the members there.
And again, shout out to RipNTear. Very strong entries from Void and very strong follow-up from the rest of his team. And they lead 4-1 here to start Haven off. Of course, as you said in the pregame, a map pick they are very comfortable on. And maybe Legacy not so much.
Yeah, maybe the experience working together on this map on RipNTear's side could pay off favorably for them. Looks like they are just going to be charging towards the side right now, though. Koro able to get the opener. Ferg responding very quickly, though. The Oxide searching, not able to find them. Neural theft, and just like that, some more kills come through. Ferg is just tearing them all down. Oh my gosh, Tony. It's all going to be on Lukey. He gets one. Can he get the second here?
Ferg with the Rolling Thunder. It does actually hit Lukey. He's fallen all the way back. The half tap, the half stick. Ferg will stick the defuse. He gets it. A nice 4K as well from the man. And showing up here to play tonight. 2-4. A much needed round by Legacy as they start to now even this scoreline back up.
Great to see them slowly starting to establish themselves. That was certainly a round that they needed, and that Rolling Thunder came in clutch for them. Obviously, the player on the side of RipNTear was not able to get towards the site at all, so great use of the abilities. Let's see if they can continue to use them, though. Obviously, their economy pretty alright, but one player is going to be stuck on the Stinger.
Oh my god, boys. Just going absolutely mental through that smoke, and we'll be finding that first. A good trade, though, by Gaza. So he retrieves himself a gun and flash. Aftershock in the hands of Ferg, and will be used. Neural theft to spot out the entirety of RipNTear. And now Legacy have the info to work with, and they have the retake to play here. Smoke being held by Panic. It's one to short, one to long. The Paranoia through. He will catch a few players on the blind. Gaza to drop down and immediately take it out. Koro, though, it's the Oxide coming from Evan, drops down. It's a second for him. Another for Panic. Scroll in the 1v2. What can he do? Down to the wire. The bomb has been stuck, and it will be won by the Oxide. A 3k to go huge there in the round. RipNTear look poised to hold, but Legacy, off the back of a beautiful Paranoia from Panic, get it done.
Very impressive gameplay to come through from the side of Legacy there, securing another round. The Oxide wasn't able to get the clutch before, but this time around, he does manage to find that success. Let's see if they can continue to raise the momentum that we have seen on their side coming into these future rounds, because there's only one round between them right now, Tony, and that gap can close very quickly.
And well, Hunter's Fury being deployed really, really early. Zenko might find some early pickage onto the side of RipNTear, and all Ferg is in such a good spot. Lukey finds a play towards mid. Ferg has let them all walk through sewer. This is going to be absolutely deadly. If Koro doesn't check long, this could be dire. He does go for the peak, but Ferg's going to win it out. Now he decides to turn tail. The Rolling Thunder being deployed. After point, the flash comes out. Void will win it, though. He turns tail. And this is a very interesting spot from Lukey. He's all the way in spawn right now.
Yeah, certainly opting for a bit more of a unique approach, but honestly, I like it. This lurk could pay off so wonderfully. Like, who checks this? See? Panic doesn't check it, and now he's going to be falling down. Oh, the wire to come through as well. He pushes through. Oh, he gets another one. They're all crumbling. This positioning from Lukey paying off so well.
No, Dio still here to make it rough to hold for RipNTear. Finding that first kill. He's got a lot more to deal with. High camera, spots Scroll. Knows where he is, but can't win the duel out. Scroll with the Phantom. And RipNTear with their 5th now. Very strong start to their attack half, but Legacy, they've gotten a few rounds here and there.
Yeah, they certainly have shown that they have the grit. They have what it takes to take those rounds, Tony, but obviously are going to be stuck onto an eco for this one. So the chances are that RipNTear certainly do have what it takes to take a 6th round, but who knows, there could be some surprises in order for us.
Fortunately, we don't have order with us, Matt. I know how much we love to see their first game, but because Legacy a different beast, but definitely proving no pushovers here in this invitational so far. And well, RipNTear, I feel more favored in this game, but Legacy are definitely no underdog here.
I feel like given the opportunity, and they certainly can come back to bite you, Tony. This round, however, going to be going pretty slowly for the moment.
Oh.
Side of Legacy holding steady. Ferg gets up the first. Koro at least able to respond very quickly, but in kind. Now the side of Legacy do have that opportunity to flank from behind. Let's see if they can find him now. Gaza picks up one. So more to find. Tony, are they going to be able to do it?
Oh, Dio's found another here. Zenkoko's retrieved that Vandal and could do some big work on a Void who's trying to sit down, trying to hold strong. He pulls the knives out. It's a hold from Void. The left click, rightfully so, gets a 3k. We missed it all. Unexpecting, but holds it down. RipNTear. Plant on, but the 2v4 in middle from him and Greg. Void going huge again, 11-5. And it's a pause now for Legacy. I believe a player currently missing. Dio, maybe I've taken a phone call.
After a round like that, Tony, you certainly are going to be asking questions. Like, things were starting to stack up on the side of Legacy. They certainly had what it takes to take that round, but the way that RipNTear adapted to that situation was perfect. They were able to make use of the uncomfortable angles they had to play. Like, you saw Void just stuck under the window there, and he just kept playing a game of peekaboo. You know, like one of those whack-a-mole things, just bobbing his head up and down and just throwing the knives as he went on.
Bob and weave, Void. Show-stopping performance on this Jet, and rightfully so. I've seen this Jet so many times from Void, and it gets entries, it gets picks, it just holds so well. Void, definitely one of the better Jet players here in the region, and he's definitely showing it strong here in this final map of the night.
Let's see how they shape up now, though. Starting to push their way all the way onto this C site right now. Phoenix taking the charge there. Unfortunately, doesn't spot anybody, but now they do know exactly where one player's going to be. The trade's going in the favor of RipNTear there, managing to take the one-man advantage. Let's see if they can plant this spike down, though. Obviously, the side of Legacy have rotated over very quickly. Let's see if their utility will find them some information here.
Got the drone, they've got the fault line, the shock dart comes out, the recon as well. Everything is going to be used here. It's the first from Gazzy. Dashes in, finds a second. Zenko and Ferg chime in return. Lukey left in the 1v3. Beats towards Garage, and Legacy with a show-stopping retake find themselves a fourth and continue to keep this game even Steven so far.
Certainly know how to put on a show, Tony, and that is what they're doing. The show must go on as they have taken the fourth round. Let's see if they are going to be able to take the fifth here, though. Obviously, their players trying to buy up everything they can. One of them going to be forced onto the light armor there. I'm curious what Gazza's going to opt for. Looks like he probably won't even be able to buy anything, honestly, because he's got the Blade Storm available. He doesn't need to buy at this point.
He's sitting in a really, really cheeky spot, of course. The double up drift. One left click straight to one of the dome of RipNTear. This could be disastrous. They're all sending their way through sewer. Sending their regards. A good flash here from Ferg. And he's going to peek off of it, actually. Gets a double onto Koro and Greg. Spike, though, retrieved by Scrawl. And RipNTear now need to put their favor somewhere else. Lukey's over in middle. Cage to cross, another cage to get him very, very deep in CT side of spawn. First kill to find on a Ferg as well. This is beautiful rotation here from RipNTear.
Yeah, they identified that there was a stack of players over towards that A site, and then they're able to secure the spike plant towards B in kind. Lukey, ooh, actually cops the receiving end of the Blade Storm there. Does manage to stay alive, but Deoxide makes quick work of the player. Void now left in the 1 versus 3. Just going to be trying to wait it out. Knows that going for the retake certainly isn't ideal here. Knows exactly where this player is. Trying to slip away and does actually do it. Maintaining that Vandal. And let's see if they can cause a scandal coming into this last round.
Lucky there for Void. He slips away at a moment. And, well, of course, he still had money to buy it. This is the last round of the half, though. Legacy playing a little closer against RipNTear. And this is what we like to see. Legacy looking to stir up the scene tonight and cause a plethora of upsets. So now we go to the last round of the half. It's the Hunter's Fury already being used by Scrawl early on. And, well, no one going to be found on the tail end of it. It's a kill found by Gaza on top of the box.
Great way to begin the round for the side of Legacy, but they still do have quite a few more kills they need to find. RipNTear slowing things down after that one as well, just opting for more of a togetherness tactic, because obviously they can't afford to be singled out here.
Pact mentality. It's a very similar style we saw from Kanga, of course, on this map. Well, yeah, you know, like that strat as well there. This Paranoia comes out to the site, and well, it's going to be up to Gaza and Panic to hit these shots. It's Dio, though, from the spawn getting 3. And now it's up to Scrawl after the shock dart fade away. Has 3 left to find for the side of Legacy. He's going to get flashed off, swung on, and taps come out. Gaza to finish. And Legacy are going to even it up 6-6. A beautiful hold there on the C side.
Yeah, certainly showing them that the site is theirs. They cannot break through no matter what they do. And even half to come through there. Certainly exceeding expectations. Both sides playing very stellar thus far. But let's see how things shape up coming into the next half here. Obviously, RipNTear going to be on the defense this time. Opting to go for the 3-man setup towards C. A huge gamble, but I'd say it's the right one, considering how many of the forces on the Legacy side are actually allocated towards that position as well.
This is scary. As soon as that wall goes down, it's going to be all-out war here. Void be walking his way into the cubby and will go unchecked for the time being. It's already 3. Make that all from Void. Koro finding Ferg as well. Spike drops. And Dio, just like that, his teammate's gone in the blink of an eye. What can he do? The face down a 1v5, he can hear so many footsteps. A flawless pistol round from RipNTear, and Void continuing to turn heads.
A great way to put your team on the map. First round of the half going the way of RipNTear. They managed to take the last pistol round as well, so certainly showing that they've got a strategy or two up their sleeve when it comes to using those pistols, Tony. And now, they get a pretty decent buy out of it as well. I feel like Void maybe more opting to save up credits perhaps towards an operator, but that's yet to be seen.
And fault line meeting Void early. Void going for a bit of an early peek towards long, just trying to flex advantage at the moment against the Legacy, and you can see that effect it has had on the players. They're now all again grouping up, playing it smart and safe, ready for trade kills, ready for a player to over-aggress from the side of RipNTear.
No one's biting on the side of RipNTear though, just holding their ground, and that's all they need to do at this point, Tony. They just need to wait for their opponents to push towards their position. In kind, it looks like the side of Legacy treading their way towards the C site. They've only got Greg to deal with. If they do push towards that position, Koro obviously standing quite close by as well. So realistically, up to 2 players they need to get through here. And Greg's got the Paranoia as well. That can certainly be a hindrance to the push to come through here.
Oh, the Rolling Thunder comes out, the flash. Paranoia here from Greg, and well, they're going to go peeking one by one. The spray comes out. It's Koro actually with 3. And left to now young Gaza. Pistol in his hands, can't do much else. And RipNTear overwhelm him there. A brilliant triple from Koro. A brilliant hold there on C. You can see how quickly RipNTear rotated as well. Just so ready for the hit. Legacy leaving it a little late in that one. And, well, who can blame them? They only had pistols now on the rifles. And we look at the scoreboard, Matt. That is a deadly score. 17-7 for Void.
Certainly showing that he's going to be a force that you want to take out of the game, because Void has managed to send so many of their opponents into the Void, Tony. One you want to avoid.
One you definitely want to avoid, and, well, having to pull themselves out of this unfortunate scoreline that they've put themselves in. Legacy, again, going to be playing together. They're going to play off the back of the Owl drone of Flash as well. Gaza, we look at you to be the key point of contact as they take some mid control very convincingly. Cage comes up. Scrolls in the back of the site already. Legacy looking to threaten though. Gaza spots the face and will be pushing on through. The Paranoid comes from Garage And just like that, 2 drop from RipNTear, the Raptor C now. And Koro's caught out in the open by Zenkoko. And a very interesting hit, not one we've seen so far in the Invitational, but the rap from Legacy pays off, and it's left to Void and Lukey. Probably just going to have to save here.
Yeah, that is going to be the case, Tony. I mean, they've got the operator. They really can't afford to lose that at this point. They want to make sure that they can just have the best possible chance available to them going forward. Like, managing to save out the Spectre as well as the operator, I'd say isn't a bad choice to come out of this. Like, 2v5 retake, the odds aren't stacked in your favor.
Definitely aren't. Spike pretty far ticked, will be close to detonation. Camera comes out. And attackers will win around here. Legacy even it back up now 7-8. And of course, it's interesting to see from RipNTear bringing in Koro, subbing out, of course, Torikago, who was the Jet player, now Void taking up that role, and rightfully so. He's been doing phenomenal stuff here, but Legacy aren't done with RipNTear just yet. Of course, very even scoreline. RipNTear able to buy here, of course, Void saving that op from last round, and will be interesting to see if he can find a pick towards long.
Well, the picks are certainly waiting to be found. And Void going to be holding that position, ready and waiting. Gaza also ready and waiting. Void very quick to make his way back towards the site though, but that's information that's gained for the side of Legacy there, because they would have heard that dash. You see them. They're already just retreating, making their way away from that A site. They know that the firepower there may be too great for them to try and get through, but regardless, they do go back to the tried and tested strategy of trying to work this C side.
Well, last time it was a split. This time it's all 5 stacked up on long. It's again Panic going to have to be calm under the pressure, and rightfully so. The walk up coming in slowly here. Aftershock comes in. Greg, sorry, can't see a thing. Gazza's not going to check that corner, but now will. Caught in the open. Panic will find the kill onto the run it back from Koro, and the ORD is in Garage, will be taken from the flash. And RipNTear now start to mount this comeback. Coco very far pushed through long, and finding Lukey. A spray comes on, a tag as well. And they need to be careful. Ferg fights Garage. This is very, very rough circumstances here for Legacy now. It's a double up from Ferg. He's got the flash in his hands, caught out in the open. Void now with Scrawl left to fend it off, and Zenkoko taken out. The defuse gonna be stuck. RipNTear are gonna claim that round. A very interesting one there, Matt.
Certainly a unique exchange there, Tony, but regardless, RipNTear do come out on top out of the battlefield. Let's see how they use the rewards that they've been given here. Obviously, the weapons that they've picked up, pretty standard, are going to be forced onto the Bulldog and Spectre there, though, as well as the Phantoms in the Operator, so that could come back to bite them, but certainly aren't down and out of that one.
Definitely not down and out. Legacy still have guns to work with, and bit of the Hunter's Fury. Although Void posted on this angle, Matt. He's waiting for a Legacy player to overpress. He will fall back. Drops off to safety. Backs up Lukey towards lower. For Legacy, again, it's a mid-take from the drone. And we look to see how Gaza can open up this B site.
Yeah, Gaza certainly treading their way towards that site, but will they be ready for the fight? That is the question, Tony. So they are going to be pushing their way through now. Nobody going to be on the site, but Gaza a little bit too keen, just keeps going and going. And Scroll has managed to make a few of them fall there. Now it's a 3 versus 2. Make that 2 versus 1 in favor of the RipNTear side. Spike going to be on the ground for Zenkoko as well. really needs to think about where he actually wants to send it. He's actually going to take a moment, perhaps, just to weigh up his options, but has been spotted out by Void there, so now things getting a little bit desperate, Tony.
This is looking rough there. He tries to cross the sea, can't fortunately get there. Lukey's waiting for it to pounce. 10-7 here now. Double digits for RipNTear, and quite a convincing defense half considering their agent selection here, Matt.
It's really great how they're able to adapt the various playstyles of the agents. Like, you see Void opting to have that element of aggression in the defense, and it's certainly paying off. Like, he's going to go for the early pick here towards long, just see if anyone's going to push towards A main, and then if he doesn't spot anybody, you can expect him to go on top of that box again.
And I have to speak about RipNTear. I've had the pleasure of facing them personally, and I definitely have seen a style of Haven like this from them before, and well, it's good to see them showing up in stride tonight, and it's going to be, of course, how they keep that going. Legacy just outside of middle. The knives here for Gaza. He's going to be the first point of contact as the breach shot comes out. The left clicks come out. It's Koro, though, from the corner taking two. Drops the spike in the hands of RipNTear, and Legacy gone in the blink of an eye. It's only left to Zenkoko and Deoxide. Oh.
Really great start to the round. Oh, Void misses the shot, though. Oof. One last leg of life, but Zenkoko gonna be the one who is taken out there. Another round goes the way of RipNTear. Two more between them and potential glory, and things looking great for them at the moment because Legacy are stuck on the eco.
Only pistols for Legacy. We've seen what they can do with Sheriffs, though. Dio, Panic. Very, very strong pistol players, but it's interesting to see Panic and Zenkoko, two of the members I expected to show up big here in this map, are currently having a very, very rough game. It's hard to answer all of this aggression from RipNTear as Void takes a shot towards long and misses this time. And Legacy are thanking their lucky stars for that one.
I'm sure they certainly would have felt the wind on that one, Tony, and they're lucky that it brushed past them. Regardless, lots of open space has been given towards this B site. You see, now Legacy going to be able to capitalize. Could even potentially get the spike down should they choose to, but are going to have their other teammates just baiting it out towards A, perhaps try and see if they can force a rotation, get the spike down there perhaps, but I don't know, Tony. What do you think is the best course scenario here?
Definitely take the fight to the members of RipNTear, and rightfully so. Gaza will find that kill, and it's an interesting hit here for the side of Legacy. They're splitting very, very far and thin. Of course, C-site completely open for the taking, and rightfully so, they will get themselves there. 30 seconds on the clock. Panic in a really good spot towards garage window, and this could be very, very dire. Dio as well. Very forward positions and very off angles that we're not going to expect the players from RipNTear to check, but Koro does.
Yeah, and it goes to show, Tony, you have to check your corners because otherwise things could come creeping from the shadows and come back to bite you, just like Ferg did just then. Picking up the kill onto Lukey. Now leaving it to two of his teammates, Zenkoko and Deoxide. Deoxide creeping up from behind. Oh, one shot. Not going to secure the kill, though. Zenkoko trying his best with the Hunter's Fury. It's not going to be enough, though. RipNTear secure the round, taking them to map point.
And it felt so doable there. Dio had such a beautiful spot, but he just couldn't quite get the kill. As the tap comes out, RipNTear now showing up to play in this final map of the night, and a phenomenal job from them. Again, we look at this scoreboard. It's 23 now for Koro. Void on 18. He's taken a bit of a step back, but it's a team effort all around the board. Scroll with 16, Lukey with 13, and Greg with a comfortable 8. Legacy, what has happened between their last map and this one? It appears they're falling apart here, Matt.
Yeah, really struggling to adapt to the play that's coming through from RipNTear at the moment. And like you said, Tony, it looks like they've fallen apart to an extent. Really struggling to find their footing in this map.
Well, they've gone now to a slower style of play. 3 towards C long, 2 towards that middle side, and the split C for the final time potentially here. Koro and Greg stand in their way. Koro will be flashed. He will not decide to shoot. He is going to let Gaza walk up, and he is going to let the bait come out here. He's going to hold the corner there. He gets a third. There's so many 3Ks in from the man, and it's Coco. The last left. He's got the spike. He's got the recon dart out. But he needs to go huge. 3 members of RipNTear. They can double peek him at a moment's notice. And rightfully so. Scroll puts him 6 foot under. 13-7. RipNTear close off the night with a 2-1 victory over the likes of Legacy.
What an absolutely spectacular performance that came through from RipNTear there. They certainly showed us what they're made of, Tony. Certainly a contender to push their way forward towards the upper echelon of the region. Legacy certainly showing us their stuff as well, showing us that they are capable, but unfortunately falling short in that one.
Unfortunately so, and well, at least no one had any expectation of Legacy going into this Invitational, so now they've got quite a hefty weight on their back. Upsetting EXO, going 1-2 in the Invitational, and well, my eyes are on RipNTear, Matt. We underplayed them going into this series, but of course, they showed up massive tonight.
Absolutely. Taking a map of a team like Legacy, that is certainly going to be turning some heads.
Definitely so. And well, guys, that will be, unfortunately, the final game for us here over on my channel, of course. Guys, if we want to give a quick shout out,